Exactly. My back hurt.
Yeah. Number 14. Turns out RuPaul's Drag Race is a great show.
It is. Come on now.
Men are so funny.
I love it.
I get Jonathan into watching some of the shows that I really get into that he wouldn't normally watch by himself. And he'll get so into it that he'll literally be the one like, okay, so with this part right here, so wasn't it Susie who put the what's the name of the thing? And I'll be like, I miss watching it in peace. Now you commenting every 20 seconds because he getting so hyped and invested. I'm like, I want my show back.
Yeah. I used to sneak and watch shows by myself and be like, okay, well, we'll watch the next one together. And I would watch the next one and be like, oh, I got my woosah. And then when they come home, ready to watch the next episode? So I would watch it twice and just be like.
See, that's a topic right there. That's a very cute topic because I would do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to watch something and you ask me a question every 5 seconds. I can't even hear anything. Are you the laugher? Are you okay?
Yeah.
So are you the person who laughs at everything?
No.
Okay.
I'm invested. I'm like sitting there with my mouth open.
Are you that person who laughs at everything?
No, but I will talk. I will get hyped because he does talk about me getting hyped. He makes a whole joke about
even when it's first preparing.
When it's first preparing, but I won't do it over lines. That's the difference. Like I'll wait till the commercial hit or I'll pause it or something like that. But he'll do it as the show, as they're still doing lines and stuff. And I'm like, now we've missed about
the dialogue.
Yeah. Like, you gotta rewind it. You didn't talk over the show. Pause the show.
I do a lot of rewinding whenever I'm watching something and Almond says something, so I try to be funny. I be like thinking. So I'm rewinding it so he'll know that, girl, I'm just like, sweetie, I am watching this show. So that's one of the things. Okay, I'm like, let me just go ahead. I'm with you. And I think there are a lot of people out here who do the let me watch it before my spouse gets here. Because even when I have that problem with my sister, because when I'm watching shit with my sister, I'm like, oh my gosh, honey, this bitch is going to give me commentary back and forth
the entire time.
And then she's going to laugh and she's going to be talking. And I'm like thinking, please. But I don't see my sister that much, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll just enjoy it when she leaves. But she's like, oh shit, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, I couldn't even hear what they're saying.
Exactly.
And we're in an Airbnb and we got fucking, you know how like Airbnbs, they have, what you call that little thing? The Roku.
Oh, the Roku stick.
Is it
something.
just the standard for everybody to have a Roku for Airbnb? Have you noticed that?
It is so annoying.
You go and you get a Roku and then you never can get any motherfucking channels on Airbnb. You end up just with Netflix. But then when you're trying to rewind it, it's going to fuck up because they have the cheapest ass television. But yeah. So with that, I'm just like, okay. But when I'm with people, I just rather not watch something with them. I'm like thinking, oh my gosh, please don't let this be a talker. Please get.
Because for the most part, I'm not a talker because I want to hear the story, and I can't hear the story or follow the action if everyone's talking. So the minute somebody starts talking, I get real quiet, and they ask me a question. I just sit there quiet. Commercial break come on, I'll be like, huh, what'd you say? And then they get it. Oh, you was watching that show. I sure the fuck was. That's what I was doing. So how about we, now that we're not watching the show?
Scorpios.
Libra.
Oh, you're not Libra.
They have a Scorpio rising.
Libra,
so it's,
right.
that Scorpio is in there like, yeah.
So I'm a Sagittarius with a Gemini rising.
What are you, Tyanna? You're a Virgo with what?
I don't know.
You're so sweet. So maybe you're like a Pisces. Pisces are sweet. Aren't Pisces sweet?
I think Virgos are sweet.
I mean, yeah, she might be all Virgo because she's really sweet.
Oh, yeah, so nice.
Yeah, we're not in a relationship with you, so you never have to like. We never have to see your bad side. Only Jonathan.
But I will tell you that Virgos do get passionate about something, and then they get like you did last week.
I do.
But they were quick to pull out when you get passionate about something.
Exactly.
Like, why you raising your voice?
Exactly.
Why you getting so passionate?
Because the Virgos like this. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
They always tell you, oh, this is how you should do this right here, and look at his part because maybe they think. And I'm like, I have a cousin who's a Virgo, and so she's always like, oh, she's just the sweetest. I'm like, girl, do not listen to me if I want a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a devil's advocate, girl. No, ma'am. Don't take up for that person. Be on my side.
Yeah, that's like old boy, little white boy. He was a Virgo, but I have an affinity for male Virgos. Like the guy who I was madly in love with in my 20s, he was a Virgo, and it's just something about masculine Virgo energy that a Libra like myself was like attracted to. It was like, it wasn't force, it was confidence. There was like a quiet like stillness to them. And because I'm all over the place, I'm like scatterbrained sometimes, but I need the balance. I need somebody who's going to be like, okay, take a chill. Let's sit right here. Let's have a conversation. Let's sip some wine and talk about the notes we're getting. And I'm like, oh, life can be this interesting. Meanwhile, in the back of my head, I'm like, I can't wait to go home and watch Real Housewives of Atlanta.
That part.
I'll be like, what hood shit can I get into? Oh, I'm intellectually stimulated, but now let me get some hood shit. Let me get that.
It's all about the balance, let me tell you. Sometimes I just want to escape. I don't want to be...
Right.
Let me get into the goofy stuff. I've been watching on Netflix The Mole, but...
What? Girl, that show. Have you watched the last two?
It's called The Mole.
The Mole.
The Mole.
Is
I'm
it
so
new?
over it. I'm so.
When did it come out?
I know who it is.
Hold on. When did it come out and what is the show about? So talk to me about The Mole.
Okay.
Just
There's
tell
going to
me
have to be another cut.
just the premises.
We gonna have to.
No, we're going to cut it. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
just the premises. So, okay, we're going to talk about this new show that's on Netflix called The Mole, and I haven't had a chance to see The Mole yet. So,
But we have.
Right. So just tell me the premises about it because I'll go look at it, and then we can probably discuss it the next time that we see each other. How about that?
So it's a game show. It's almost like
Like
competition based, Amazing Race
Amazing
sort
Race,
of
yeah.
vibe. But the difference is they all are liars. They come on here to fool each other to try to win however much they bank. So each mission comes with a prize money.
Okay.
So if you successfully complete the mission, you get the prize money. But the mole, which is only one person selected out of the group of people that's been vetted for the competition, their job is to make sure that they lose money. So then everybody else's job is to figure out the mole. So how you stay on the competition is you take a quiz, and whoever gets the most right answers on the quiz that is about the mole, then that's who moves forward. So you have to constantly be learning about each other, and then you're constantly trying to figure out who's on here that's like purposely making us lose.
Yeah. Who is the person who is sabotaging the game? And
So
a lot of the gameplay is people are now trying to sabotage things so that people can think that they are the mole, but they aren't.
Okay.
Because the last guy who got...
Okay, no. Don't tell me anything.
I'm not.
Okay.
Okay, but I thought he was one.
Okay.
But I feel...
Thought so too.
You see?
But my premonitions is... we'll talk later.
We'll talk later. Okay.
Because we ain't ruining it for Jeff.
Yeah, we're not
Right.
gonna ruin
You
it for you.
ain't.
But catch up so that we can talk about it next week because
Next
it's
week.
juicy. Because
It's
that's the one I was
so
getting hyped
good.
about because there's one scene we'll talk about next week that I was like, yeah, this is what you
Okay,
get.
so what episode are you on?
Is it episode 8 or 9?
Yeah, I think it's like episode 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So the
Are they
next
30
week
minutes?
should be the last one.
It's like 40
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
minutes each.
So are you guys watching Atlanta?
I started, I've watched episode 1 and episode 2, but I have to catch up.
Okay, I've only seen episode 1. I'm going to start on episode 2. What about you, sweetie?
I don't have that station, but
It's on Hulu.
yeah, I don't have that platform, but I
Not with the eye roll. Yeah, I don't have that.
but I'll try to watch it. I'll watch it. So if y'all want to talk about it, I'll make sure I watch it. Y'all want
Yeah,
to talk about
watch
it?
Atlanta.
Okay, I'll make sure I watch it.
Sure. Is there anything else that we should watch? I do watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and The Real Housewives of Potomac and blah, 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 blah. All of that.
All of it.
Okay,
And Married
okay.
to Medicine.
Oh, yeah. So
I
do you
am
watch
here.
Married to Medicine?
I love.
But I'll
Oh
catch up.
my
I'll catch up to y'all.
Gosh. What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
So, okay. So Real Housewives of Potomac, Teresa is back. You know who that is?
Charisse from
Yeah.
first season. I love her.
Me too. And I watched the first season afterwards, but I like her better.
I
with
like her.
weight on her. Like she looks good.
I do too.
With her weight.
Because
You know what I'm saying?
she wasn't happy then. When she was married to that guy and they ended up getting this major divorce.
Yeah.
And you can tell she has a glow about herself. She's happy. She's comfortable in her skin. That first season, I felt like she wasn't comfortable in her skin. And I felt like she had to dress a certain way, look a certain way, hold herself in a certain esteem because she was married to this big basketball coach. And it's like, no, you don't, sis. Just be you. Wow. But you don't have to watch it because I want to get into this conversation. Okay. This is a conversation that we can splice into. Okay. When Sharice and Robin were having a conversation about if and when you get divorced, Robin felt like whoever isn't the breadwinner shouldn't be entitled to half. And she was like, well, now this is a girl who was married to a basketball player, then got divorced to a basketball player, and is now married again to same basketball player.
They're not married yet.
I mean, engaged again to same basketball player.
So it's like you married your baby daddy. Mm-hmm. He still is your baby daddy, and you're still messing around with him. Mm-hmm. And then you guys still live together, and now you're going to get remarried because you want to be married and not live in sin with your children's father.
Yeah.
And then he lost his job at one point.
Yeah, so he quit basketball or something. Something happened. They made horrible financial decisions with the financial advisor who took all their money.
Correct.
And
it was their friend.
And he was a friend of theirs. And then she never had a job, never had any cachet about her. But she went back to work. She found a way to start working again because she had to make money. He just sat in doldrums but still lived with her and the kids. Yep. Then she got Real Housewives of Atlanta. They was still, I'm sorry, what's the name of the show?
Potomac.
Real Housewives of Potomac. Yeah. And then, she's building some cachet. People are getting to know who she is, what she's about, cheering her on, learning her journey. So now she's quote unquote breadwinner. And she feels like if she and her now fiance, once they get married and get divorced, she's like, I don't want to give him none of my money.
Right. Because now she has a little hat business that she's selling her caps. And then she's also started selling real estate and flipping houses. And so she was flipping houses, and he's just but he's a coach at a high school or maybe a college.
Like a junior college.
Yeah, so he's a coach at a junior college now. And so she feels that she's making all the money. And so she also did state that when she did the prenup before, she did not want to take any of his money. So when they divorced before, she felt the same exact way. So even if it was his or her, she said, no, I didn't have a problem signing the prenup because I didn't make the money. So it wasn't, we got an easy divorce because there was not really had to worry about a prenup. It does sound selfish though.
It sounds hella selfish because now that she's in a certain light,
it sounds selfish.
She's like, I don't want to give him none of my money.
I'm all for me.
And like, to me, like when you get married, you are choosing a partner. Now, however that fares out, it fares out. If it fares out and y'all decide to go your separate ways, you signed a contract. A marriage is a contract. The contract is stated that once we together, it's me and you. We are a team. Whatever you make, whatever I make, it's contributing to the team. If someone becomes the breadwinner, then that person is taking on the bulk of the teamwork, period. So when the marriage disbands, the laws are the laws. You get half if there's no prenup. I agree with that. I think that is, to me, I agree. Like, what's the big deal? It could be because I feel like a support system is in place for you to make said money. Unless that person was just out doing God knows what. Exactly.
And so those are when prenups are great because like, for me, I think that, in a marriage, everything is 100%, right? So you have two people 100%. Sometimes you're 60% and his 40% makes up 100. Sometimes it's 50-50. Sometimes it's not 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might be sick and the other person has to do this or have to do that. But I totally get it. And maybe if I wasn't in the predicament but now my life changed, right? And so when I married, it's for better or worse. And so now me and Almond both were breadwinners. Now all of a sudden I'm the breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? And so I've never thought about it like that, but he makes up for everything and supporting me and supporting my way to make money. So it's just like he's not just sitting at home. He is trying to make sure that, like, when I get up, he makes my life so much easier. You get what I'm saying? So, like, imagine, okay, I get up in the morning, I walk the dogs. He already has my coffee and stuff, like, prepared so I can just turn it on. Like, okay, Jeffrey, I'm going to boil you some eggs. I'm going to take, you know what I'm saying? So that when you're at work, you don't have to do this. Like, all of the stuff that I'm, like, thinking, okay, thank you. I can't thank this person enough, because it's like you're thinking about me eating. You got me proteins. You're going to bring me water here. You know what I'm saying? You're going to walk the dogs. And before I was walking the dogs, I was doing the laundry. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, when people come here and it's like, okay, yep, they use towels, but they don't understand that, okay, my husband is the one who's using the towels. It's not going to have a towel service or anything. It's just like Almond is doing that to help me. And sometimes I'm like feeling bad. Like, okay, Almond, I'm going to stop them using towels so you don't have to do that. But he feels great doing it, and he still is doing the same thing. But it goes back to saying that, okay, your 100% is going to be different. And so if something happened, then, of course, I mean, I wouldn't want it, because probably at that time I'd be angry to give somebody 50%. But however, I get what you mean. Because it's like, okay, if it's a great marriage, if both people are doing and trying to approach the marriage as such, it's just like, okay, I was giving my 50-50 no matter what. Now all of a sudden something happens and you're out doing God knows what. That's what created the change anyway. And so that's why I think a prenup will come in place, because it's something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, everything is good. Like her and her husband now seem to be on great. Well, we haven't seen him since last year.
Right.
Last season, whenever they were having that talk, when
and he
like,
drove off.
Yeah, and like, you're not gonna make me. And so who knows what they might be going through? Because I'm like thinking, why is she discussing the prenup and all that kind of stuff right now? You know what I'm saying? Well, we're not married, but like, imagine, girl, they've been asking her for about 8 years about when they're gonna get married. Because as long as the show was on, they divorced, and then
he proposed. What was it, 3 years ago?
Yeah. And so they've been trying, and her storyline basically is about her and her husband.
When have you set a date? No, we haven't set a date yet.
And everybody asks her that question, and that's her storyline. Like, oh, when are you? Yeah.
So that's a fun topic. Anyway, it's 4:23. It might be time for us to say goodbye, because our res is for 5:15.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay.
So
Thank you
guys. This has been a
tell
great.
someone that you know if you have any topics that you like for us to discuss. We love discussing topics. If you want to be a guest,
I want to do an advice thing too. Like, people write in and then give advice.
That would be fun.
I've always wanted to do that.
Yep.
Voice, I've always wanted to do that.
Okay, in my Tyanna voice. Hi, everybody. So next week, if you have advice, you can just send it to us.
Yes.
If you need advice,
let's have a write-in.
It's called Dear what?
Dear Coco.
Yeah.
Chocolate. What is this? Chocolate
talks. Chocolate thoughts.
What you mean? What is it?
Sorry, I had a brain fart.
It's okay.
I'm young.
Okay.
I have to get the email. Well, the email's up and ready, but next week I'll announce the email so they can send in some advice.
Okay.
All right, bye guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.